passage from the book, but I'd urge people when they get Secretary Albright's book to look at her description of this North Korean diplomacy. It is uncertain in hindsight, she writes, how real an opportunity was missed in the period around 2000, the period we've just been talking about. But there were reasons for our hopes, and I think that's really what you're trying to make clear to us. So I want to close by just asking you if you would offer just brief advice for President Trump as he gets ready to leave for Singapore. When you went to Pyongyang, you'd had a lot more experience in international diplomacy. You've been doing it for many, many years. I think reasonable people hope that President Trump will succeed, but he sure could use some advice going into this. And so I want to put that to you. What's the, if he was sitting in my seat and he said, "Come on, Madeleine, really, tell me," what would you tell him?
I'd tweet it, probably. But let me say, what I think is that it would be important for him to understand who he's really dealing with in terms of that, and if he's any Kim Jong Un like his father, I was surprised by how technically adept and smart he was. And so I think that President Trump has to understand that Kim Jong Un has spent his whole life studying this and understanding every single detail of their programs and all that. So actually, even though we don't know enough about, he's dealing with a leader that knows what he's talking about.
That sounds like a warning. Don't try to bluff this guy.
Yeah, I think absolutely. The other part that I think is really important is not to be extemporaneous. I think...
Good luck.
Yeah. But, and I think that in any diplomatic talk, one of the discussion, what is really important is discipline. Every president, or all of us, frankly, when you go into these kinds of discussions, you've been briefed a lot by people. You have gone over talking points. You know how you want one discussion to lead. I can only tell you the kind of briefings that I would get whenever I went anywhere, what to expect that might be out of the ordinary, how you would respond to it, to be thoughtful about the answers you give. And to really know that you are either the Secretary of State or the President of the United States, and therefore it has to be very disciplined in a way about what you want. I also, I hope that I have advocated for diplomacy, especially when there were all the discussions about bombing and a variety of things. You always have to have that force tool in your toolkit and not take it off the table, but I had argued for diplomacy, so I'm glad that they're moving in that direction, but to recognize that it's only the beginning of the story, and that he has to be, President Trump has to be very careful, kind of not to declare victory, but to listen and to be able to then move forward based on the understanding that a lot of detailed negotiations are going to have to take place, no matter what they decide there, to follow up.